Hello, good afternoon, everybody. I hope you are having a great day. Listen, welcome to the broadcast. For those of you who are new, my name is LaShonda. I am the CEO and founder of Walk in Favor Life Coaching. I also am the founder of Living Authentically and Elevate Her. And everything that I do is designed to help women get from one level of existence to the next. And so, hey, listen, if you have just joined on, do me a favor, go ahead, type in your name. You can share with me your city and state if you would like to. We're going to go ahead and get this party started. Good afternoon. I'm so used to saying good morning, good afternoon, Charmaine. Good afternoon, Delonda. So I'm super excited that you all are here with me today because I really want to help you get your July off to an amazing start. So welcome to July. We're in the 7th month of this year. I know 2020 has been something kind of different, something kind of strange, but you know what? This has also been an incredible year for growth. This has been an incredible year for increase, but you have to have the mindset. And that's why today I wanted to talk about, listen, stop saying later, stop putting things off and start taking advantage of it now, because now is the time. And so listen, if you haven't already done so, do me a favor. What y'all waiting on? What y'all waiting on? Share with me your names. Hey, Coco girl, it's good to see you on this afternoon. And so look, you all know that when I work with women, I do spiritual development, personal development, and professional development, because that has truly been the magic formula to the success that I have been able to experience. Hey, sweetheart. Hey, Kimberly, my sweetheart. And so check this out. Spiritual development plus personal development plus professional development equals success. If you can do it in that order, I promise you, you will live a life where there is nothing wanting, there is nothing lacking, all right? But you have to do it in that order. And so as we are on this journey to be bigger, better, and bolder, do things that we've never done before, go places we've never gone before, be who we've never become before, let me tell you, you're right, Coco, it is a holistic approach. Let me tell you, you cannot do this thing without God being your partner. You cannot do this thing without God being your partner. And the reason I say that is because you plus God is the majority. You can have the whole world plus you, but if you don't have God on your side, you are still the minority. And so I am into being the best. I am into being able to be more than a conqueror, like God has said. So I choose to lean on the side with God, right? I choose to lean on the side with God because I know him plus me are the majority. I understand that when he's for me, no one can be against me, all right? And so many times people are putting off building a profound and deep relationship with the Lord, thinking that everything else is so important. And at the end of the day, what's happening is you are losing your ground. You are losing opportunity. I mean, think about it in the natural sense. How many of you have put off something that you know you should have done today, and because you didn't, you lost out? As a matter of fact, it's so funny. I have some business partners that as soon as I began to hear that there was monies and funding and grants available for self-employed individuals like myself, I immediately started sending out that information sent via text message to my friends. I was like, hey, I just applied for this. Go ahead and apply for it. Some of them did and some of them did not. And it's so funny because one of my friends who did not, here's what he said. He said, you know what? I waited too long. He said, the early bird always gets the worm, and I should have taken advantage of it as soon as you gave it to me. Well, what did that delay cost him? It cost him $11,000. Do you hear me? The delay cost him. Somebody type that into the comments. The delay cost him $11,000. I'm going to write it in myself. The delay, let me type this in. The delay cost him $11,000. It cost him $11,000. And he vowed that he wasn't going to miss out on those opportunities anymore. And it's so funny because I've been sending more opportunities, and every time he say, look, I'm on it, application submitted. Why? Because he saw that the delay cost him. The thing that he should have been doing now is the thing that he put off. And so what I'm telling you today, stop saying later. Stop saying I'll do this tomorrow or I'll do this later when the time is now. And so if we can see the cost in the natural, I need you to see the cost in the spiritual. Because see, the word of God tells us that God shows himself strong on behalf of those whose heart are perfect towards him. I'll say that again. The word tells us that God shows himself strong. God shows himself mighty on behalf, meaning that he said, hey, you take a seat. I got this. I got this. I got this. You take a seat. Calm down, shorty. I got this. The word tells us, and you can find it in 2 Chronicles 16:9, that God shows himself strong on behalf of those whose heart are perfect towards him. Now, I need you to know that that word perfect does not mean that we have to do everything just right. Cross every T, dot every I. It doesn't mean that we have to live a life without making a mistake, because if that's the case, none of us qualify, right? None of us qualify. And I thank God that we don't have to do that. But what the perfect God is talking about means devoted. God shows himself strong on behalf of those whose heart is devoted to him, a heart that is consecrated to him, a heart that is dedicated to him, a heart that is loyal to him, a heart that is faithful to him. Not that you won't make mistakes, because yes, we will make mistakes. Not that not that we're going to do everything right, because we're not going to do everything right. But I can guarantee you this: you can be consecrated towards God. You can be dedicated and loyal and faithful towards God, because he said you could. And anything that he said you can do, because he said we can do all things through him who strengthens him, through his anointing that strengthens us. Right? So here's the thing. The mistake that most of us have made, and most of us are still making, is that the mistake we will make will not stop God from working in our lives. Only our lack of faithfulness can stop working or stop making God work in our lives. So it's not that we make mistakes. Because we make mistakes, it's not going to stop him from working in our lives, but our lack of faithfulness is what can stop God from working in our lives. And so think about it. Who is faithful then? How do I know if I'm faithful towards God? Because I need him to show up strong in my life. I need him to show up mighty in my life, not just because of grace and not just because of mercy, but I want God to show up because I'm faithful. So who is faithful? Well, let me tell you, the one who spends his time and her time doing what God has called him and her to do. That's the faithful one. If you are spending time doing what God has called you to do, then you're faithful. Or as Jesus put it, the one who takes up his cross and follows him, right? The one who denies his fleshly desires and spend his or her life on the things God desires for her or him to do, right? So I want you to think about it. What has God been urging you to do now that you've been putting off later? Because see, you're not only putting off the assignment that God has for you, you're putting off the blessings that he has for you. You're putting off the abundance that he has for you. Because see, remember, he said in Proverbs 10:22, the blessings of the Lord brings wealth. Well, check this out. If you are putting off the assignment he has for you, putting it off till later, then you're missing the blessings. And when you miss the blessings, you miss the wealth that comes from the blessings. Come on, somebody. And so maybe God has been urging you to spend more time in his word. Maybe he ain't calling you to go out and preach to the nations and talk to the nations. Maybe he's urging you to just spend time in his word, and you are saying later. Maybe he's urging you to spend time in prayer, and you're saying later. Maybe he is urging you to minister his word to more people that are around you, your family, your friends, your loved ones, and you're saying later. Maybe he's calling you to pray for the sick, and you're saying later. Right? Maybe he's calling you to teach his word because you have a profound way of articulating it, and you're saying later. You're saying I'm too busy, right? And so you glide on with these good intentions. I have good intentions to do A. I have good intentions to do B. But one of my mentors said, good intentions will pave your way to hell. Because you never do what God wanted you to do. You know, how many times did you say, girl, I intended to do that? At the end of the day, you didn't do it. Whether your intentions were pure or not, at the end of the day, it equals up to goose eggs because you didn't do it. So maybe you're too busy and you just glide on with those good intentions and tell God that you will do it later. Well, I'm here to tell you, sis. Yeah, I'm here to tell you. And if there's any brothers, I'm here to tell you, brother, later is here. Later is now. Because the only thing that you're doing is you are delaying your blessings. And you know, when God calls you to do something, he gives you grace to do it. Now, if you miss your grace, then it's going to be more challenging to do it because now you're out of the grace, the time that he did it. So when God urges you to do something, the time is now. The time is to now. I made that up. The time is to now. So here's what you should do. Normally, I don't try to tell people what they should do, but today I'm telling you what you should do. What you should do is decide today that you are going to be faithful, that you are going to be a wise servant. See, even wisdom is putting into action the knowledge that you have. So it still takes action, movement. You can't keep saying later because later is equivalent to procrastination, and procrastination is an assassination to your destination. Type that in. Type that in. I'll do it too. Procrastination. Hold on. Procrastination. Get out of the way. Hold on. Is an assassination to your destination. All right, hold on, I'm typing that in. Got to do spell check before y'all see it, because y'all ain't gonna clown me. Hey, Brandy. That's one of my coaches, y'all. Shoot. So, you know, the reality is decide today that you're going to be faithful, that you're going to be that wise servant, because procrastination is an assassination to your destination. Find out what is really stealing your time from the Lord. Find out what's stealing your time from the Lord, right? Because that is the thing that's holding you back from your blessings. That is the thing that's holding you back from your abundance. That is the thing that's holding you back from your creativity. You know, you're asking for $1 million ideas. You're asking for $1 billion ideas. You're asking for witty ideas and inventions. You're asking God to make you stand out. You're asking God to make your name famous. You're asking God to build your reputation. You're asking God to elevate you. You're asking God to exalt you. You're asking God to bless you beyond your wildest dreams. You're asking God to do all of this stuff, but you're putting him off until later. And so because of that, you get the later. You don't have the abundance. You don't have you're not living in the overflow. God said that I will open up the windows of heaven and pour out blessings that you don't even have room to receive. You know what I'm saying? Man, you don't even have room to receive. It's almost like you gotta rent a storage space. And I want you to kind of look at it. When your house is filled with stuff, your next best option is to go either sell it or rent a storage space to house the excess, right? And so God is saying, I will open up the windows of heaven and pour out blessings that you don't have room to receive, meaning that you will have so much blessing, you will have so much overflow that you're like, what am I going to do with this? What am I going to do with this? That means you don't run out. If you don't have room enough to receive it, that means that as soon as a little room become available, it's filled with something. It's filled with blessing. That's what living an abundant life is all about. He said, nothing wanting, nothing lacking. But you got to find out, what is it that is separating me from God? You're not separated from his love, but what is it that is separating you from him? What is it that is stealing your time from the Lord, that is causing you not to work in your purpose, that is causing you not to work in your assignment, right? Here's the thing. Serve God's interests instead of your interests. Yeah, that was big, wasn't it? Serve God's interests instead of your interests. And I know I see y'all comments, right? But I'm in the groove and I don't want to really kind of stop to put y'all comments up there, but I'll get them up there. Serve his interests instead of your own. Remember, he said, seek first the way I do stuff and my righteousness. I'm just paraphrasing it. He said, if you do this, if you seek my righteousness and the way I do stuff, man, I will make sure that everything, all these things will be added unto you. So added, it's just going to keep on layering. It's going to keep on layering. It's going to keep on layering. It's going to keep on layering. You know how when you put perfume on and you really want to smell good, so they say layer it. So you may wash with the same fragrance body wash, and then when you get out, you may put on that same fragrance body mist, and then you may put on that same fragrance body lotion, and then finally you put on that same fragrance perfume. At this point, you have layered that fragrance on you that it's going to be long lasting. It's going to allow you to go from sun up to sundown, and you're still going to have that sweet aroma, right? You're still going to have that sweet aroma. Well, God said that I will add these things unto you. All these things will be added. So he's going to keep on layering blessing on top of blessing on you. And all he asks is, he don't ask us to be perfect. He just asks for us to be faithful. And so here's the thing. Do you want to be a ruler in the household of God? He said, I made you the head and not the tail, above and not beneath, the lender and not the borrower. Do you want him to show himself strong for you? Do you want him to show himself mighty for you? Do you want, check this out. This is something I love. You can find it in Exodus and you can find it in Numbers, because when you do what God calls you to do, you get haters, you get enemies, right? It's not that they don't have the same opportunity. It's just that they put God off for later. They put him off for later. And so, in business, they say work with the willing, right? And so God works with the willing. And so, God remind me where I was going with that. Work with the willing, right? And so do you want, hear this? Thank you, Holy Spirit, because I sure forgot where I was going. It happens sometimes. But this is what I like when it comes to those people who your opposition. In Exodus and Numbers, God says this. He said, if you obey my commandments, your enemies will be my enemies. What? So when God says, I'll show myself strong for you, that means he'll take care of your enemies. You ain't even got to focus on your enemies. You just focus on the assignment. Keep yourself laser focused on what God has called you to do. So if you want to be a ruler in the household of the Lord, if you want him to show himself strong for you, if you want him to show himself mighty for you, then take up Jesus' thoughts today. Take up his purpose today. Take up his plans today. Stop saying later, God. Start saying now, right? Take up his purpose now. Take up his plans now. Take up his thoughts now. Now is the time to be faithful. Now is the time to be faithful, right? Now is the time to be faithful. I know they saying we in a pandemic, but God, the word of the Lord said, my times is in your hands. God ain't never in a pandemic. God ain't never lacking resources. My times, Lord, is in your hands. As a matter of fact, Proverbs 16:2, I love this with everything in me. It says, my welfare has no existence outside of you. Ain't that tough? My welfare has no existence outside of you. So since my welfare doesn't have any existence outside of God, the smartest thing I can do, the best things I could do, the most logical thing that I can do, the most sensible thing that I can do is to be faithful to the one who is in control of my existence and my welfare. You hear me? Now is the time to be faithful to God. To now. Right now is that time. You hear me? And so, was this good stuff? Was this good stuff? I'll pay attention to y'all comments now. All right, let me pay attention to these comments because I ain't looked at them. All right, so let me see what we got here. Yep, that delay cost him $11,000. He ain't did it since either. Let's see. Marquita said facts. All right, awesome. I'm thankful that you all are inviting people as well. What did my coach, she said, when we doubt ourselves or deem ourselves unworthy, we are not perfectly believing in God. Absolutely. All right, so good stuff. Marquita said the time is now. The time is now. Y'all like that? Procrastination is an assassination to your destination. Yes, it is. What is Lucretia said, that's right, not my will, but your will be done, Lord. Man, when you do it like that, you will lack nothing. Oh, shucks. That's right. Be faithful to Almighty God who is in control. And my girlfriend, this is my high school girlfriend, right? And we've been out of high school since 1993. But she's in Georgia. I'm here in Kansas, but we both are from Wisconsin. And so she said, yes, good stuff, girlfriend. Awesome. And so I just wanted to share that. It is July the 1st, right? July 1st. So what better way than to have a record month than to start off being faithful with God? And so if you start off July 1st, I don't care what your June looked like. You can draw a line in the sand and say it's July 1st. So I'm getting ready to go ahead. This is the day, not the month. This is the day that I am getting ready to consecrate my heart to the Lord. This is the day that I'm getting ready to dedicate myself to the Lord. This is the day that I'm getting ready to be loyal to the Lord. This is the day that I'm getting ready to be faithful to the Lord. Because he deserves it. Because he deserves it. All right. And so listen, y'all, I'm super excited about everything that is going on. As you all know, those of you who are in Living Authentically and my Elevate Her group, I have been literally posting so many different resources for grants and funding. You do not have to leave this situation on lack or empty, because wealth transfer is taking place, but you got to take advantage of it right now. You know, yesterday was a deadline, but thank God they extended a deadline. I put some grants in there that today is a deadline. Get involved. Don't put it off. Hey, listen, if you apply, there's a 50% chance you will get it and a 50% chance you may not. But if you don't apply, that's 100% no, you will not get it. And let me tell you something. I have not been denied. I ain't gonna even say yet. I have not been denied. And you know why I believe so? It's one of the things that I believe that as I'm going through the whole process, I am thanking God for the approval. I'm not even contemplating denial. I'm thanking God for the approval. All right. And so listen, there are a lot of resources in our Living Authentically group. If you are not a part of the group, go ahead, join the group. I'm not putting this information on my personal page or my business page because I'm showing I'm showing my faithfulness to the women who are faithful to the group, who are dedicated to the group, who add value to the group. And so this is another way that I'm just pouring into them. There are grants for businesses and there are grants for individuals. You may need help with your housing, your rent, your mortgage, your utilities and other essentials. There are grants for people who are dealing with cancer, people that are dealing with liver and kidney diseases. There are grants for people who are taking care of people that are dealing with this COVID-19. There is so much money out there, right? It is unlimited, but you got to take advantage of it. You got to do something. Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. You hear me? It is, Coco, it is so much money out there. So much money out there. And guess what? You don't have to be this big, huge brick and mortar business to get it. You don't have to be, but you do have to apply. You have to be faithful to the process. All right. So listen, may God bless you and keep you. I look forward to you all joining our Living Authentically group. Just type in Living Authentically if you're, and you got to come to Facebook because this is a Facebook group. We're almost reaching that 1,000 mark, so I'm excited about that. So many things are happening in the group for the women. I have some testimonials that are just out of sight and that I'm going to be bringing on so that you all can see that when you dedicate to your spiritual development and your personal development, your outer world just takes on a whole new coloring and you begin to receive tangible results. I have women who are now engaged. I have women who wouldn't even try to negotiate for themselves, and now they're negotiating 5-figure deals. You know, it's just amazing to see the growth. All right. And so listen, join us over in Living Authentically, and I look forward to seeing you on Friday for the next broadcast. All right. All right. Any questions? Anything like that? All right. All right. All right. All right. Awesome, Kimberly. Thank you. And for those of you who missed the beginning, go ahead and listen to the start it over. Once I end, go to the beginning because it was just so much wealth that you can glean from. And those of you who are listening on replay, hey, thank you so much. All right. So look, I'll talk to you soon. God bless you. May God keep you. And I'll see you next time. Bye now.